The testimony today was dramatic, some thought devastating. The Presidential Commission investigating the Challenger disaster heard how engineers from the company that makes the shuttle's boosters, Morton Thiokol, argued with their superiors and NASA officials that the launch could be unsafe, only to be overruled. Lynn Scherr has the story.
The working engineers at Morton Thiokol publicly pointed their fingers at their own management and at NASA today, telling the Presidential Commission that based on data they saw from their headquarters in Utah, they were unanimous in not wanting Challenger to fly January 28th.
There was not one positive statement for launch ever made in that room.
Roger Beaujolais was so distressed by erosion of the O-ring seals he examined from the previous cold weather launch, he wrote a report last July warning of the danger.
The result would be a catastrophe of the highest order, loss of human life.
I wrote a memo to my management, project engineering, indicated that we should stop flying.
Alan McDonald, a manager, said he was so upset about the cold weather that when other Thiokol managers reversed the decision, he refused to sign the approval to launch.
In fact, I made the direct statement that if anything happened to this launch, tell them I sure wouldn't want to be the person that had to stand in front of a board of inquiry.
The engineers told of a telephone conference between Utah, Cape Canaveral, and the Marshall Space Flight Center the night before launch. They told of expressing their opposition to the launch and of NASA's reaction. From one manager, George Hardy, that he was appalled at the recommendation. From another, Lawrence Malloy, about when we'll ever get this launch off. Then a Thiokol manager in Utah held a caucus and took a vote without the working engineers.
We only polled the management people because we had already established that we were not going to be unanimous.
The commissioners appeared as dumbfounded today as they were when they first heard the story in secret session 10 days ago.
What was driving you here? What was to be achieved that caused you to go?
I think we've heard what the explanation you've given. I think the problem we're having, it's not convincing.
There are still questions. Why did Thiokol managers reverse their decision with no new data? And why did NASA managers fail to relay the controversy to top NASA officials? That testimony tomorrow. Lynn Scherr, ABC News, Washington.
James Beggs, the NASA administrator who's been on leave as he fights a criminal indictment against him, resigned today. No successor was announced. In a moment, Pete